Hello everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today. I've just done a live stream about the astrological aspects coming up, and many of you wanted to hear something from the Pleiadians and a little more about channeling, and I've had quite a lot of emails and a lot of feedback around the channeling, around what it is. And I have to confess, I've had quite a lot of resistance to sharing more of the Pleiadians with you. I've had quite a lot of criticisms and various difficult feedback, and I'm just pushing myself that little bit further once again. It's a bit like the yoga, it's a bit like practicing a new piece on the piano or the violin. You've got some new notes to learn, notes in different combinations that you haven't had before. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining me. I think one of the first things I want to say about this channeling is it started for me about 2.5 years ago now. And it was a time where I absolutely had to surrender. We've just had this new moon in Pisces. I had to surrender because just about everything was going wrong in my life. Anything that could go wrong, losing my best relationship, physical thing, all the things. So it was just like, and anything I was trying to fight or hold on to or get back, I couldn't. It was all slipping away. So I was being shown something about surrendering. And what I'm learning, and this is why I'm sharing this process with you, okay? Because I feel that if I do this with you, maybe it will help you as well and me in this unfolding of what channeling is, taking away the woo, frightening aspects of what channeling is, and connecting to that higher power, if you want to call it, the transcendental, a different dimension entirely. And I think that's what this channeling is about. I think more and more people are interested in it. I can tell you for sure it was something I was brought up not to believe in and definitely not to be open to. So it was quite a surprise when this became something that was really in my face. What I want to share with you is that this is a learning process for me, and I'm told that the Pleiadians are also learning. They are learning how to come through me, how to express certain things. I am learning how to get out of the way and how to trust that no matter what comes out, it just is. And I can certainly remember in the earlier days that a lot of rubbish would come out. I would bring them in, and for example, it would be like, yes, it was just about releasing the jaw and the mouth and everything, and just letting come through whatever came through. And thank you to those of you who are online with me now, because there are many days when I want to stop sharing this. I think, I'm not going to share it anymore. It's too vulnerable, or this or that, the other. And I think, no. The whole point in it is to show as it evolves. There's an evolving happening here, and there's been an evolution with the astrology, an evolution with the painting, with the music, and I'm hoping soon enough, once there's been various corrections still happening, that I'll be able to dance as well. So the dancing is a dream. I'm already 60 years of age, and I don't care. I'm just, that's something I'm thinking that I will also be sharing with you. So just for you to know that this is changing over time. When I first started, it was like, we are the Pleiadians, yeah? It really came through. It was hard. It was really, really hard. It's getting easier, and at the same time, I know there's more to go. I know there's more releasing. Like now, I'm at a resistance point. I acknowledge this is a resistance point today here. It was like, oh, well, I've done the astrology video, I've done that, and I enjoyed that. And then I could feel the Pleiadians were saying, what about us? We want to speak. We want to join in. Yes, they like to play, you see. So I'm going anyway, so to speak. So I've been given feedback sometimes that the Pleiadians are not coming through with a loving feeling. I don't know if that's what you have felt personally, but I can assure you that that is certainly not their intention. Okay, they're extremely loving, always comforting, always caring. In the earlier months when I was dealing with the fear and the panic and all kinds of things that were going on inside of me all of my life, I came from a very fearful mother who actually came out of Nazi Austria as a teenager on the kinder transport. And I don't think she ever recovered it, right? I don't think she ever fully recovered that, and she lived as a very fearful lady. Okay, now in retrospect, she's been long gone, God bless her soul, and I feel that she did love me, and at the same time there was just fear and anger and upset. It was always underlying the surface. And I think that fear has been present with many of us, yes, in different ways, sometimes through abuse, sometimes through anger, angry parents, or maybe somebody who's been abusing drugs or alcohol. And so this fear thing, I think is still prevalent on the planet, that we're frightened of one another. Somebody's a different colour. So, yeah, my friend was desperately upset. They've just adopted this beautiful little girl from Ethiopia almost a year ago now. And she went up to a little boy in the playground a few days ago. And this little boy just went, ah! He looked at her and obviously panicked. There's this black child. I've never seen a black child before, and it was like a shock, but it was just like, wow, are we frightened of one another? Yeah, what's this fear there? So I think one of the greatest things that the channeling has brought me over time, and still working on it, is this tremendous relief of living in a fearful, panicky place. So I've always got to be on my guard. And therefore, to share with you that there is nothing to fear with the channeling. And so when somebody says to me that the Pleiadians are not coming through with love, that kind of hurt, I feel a pain in that, because they truly are so loving. Many of you asked what is their intention of being here, and perhaps I'm going to bring them in now because they're dying to just say a little something. So I'll bring them in, and then I'll come back and speak a little more. We love you all so much. We always come through with a feeling of softness, of gentleness, of kindness. We always want that, but at the same time we want to wake you up. Many of you are going around half asleep. And so sometimes there is a wake-up call in our message, but never one that is intended to hurt you or to cause you to feel as though we are not loving. Sometimes there is a tough love in mother love, isn't there? In mother love, you have to be a little tough sometimes to show what the child needs and where there are boundaries and structures that have to be obeyed, yes, in this particular world that you live in. And so that is always where we come from a loving, kind-hearted place, because we love you all so very much. Yes, our heart is enormous. Yes, enormous, enormous. And your heart is enormous too. You have no idea how enormous your heart penetrates outwards. The energy of the heart is vast. It penetrates through universes, through worlds, your very heart. And the focus has been always on the mind and the mental. Not to say that is not important, but the heart energy. This is where we come to touch your hearts. Yeah. We could talk on, but we want to go in. We're going to bring Barbara back briefly, and we're going to go in and out a little because we feel a sense that you're going to have questions, and we want to interact with you. We really, really want to interact with you. So it's a learning process. And for you, if you go into the channeling, don't feel fearful. I've never protected myself. I've never put this white light of protection around me that people talk about. Because if you're going to put something to protect yourself around you, you're not open. Fully open. Yes, you've got doors that are closed somewhere. And the channeling is teaching me, at least, how to be more fully open, how to be more alive, more present. I need a drink. Thank you. So somebody's saying there's a time and place for protection. Yes, let them address this. I'm going to let the P's address this. Well, protection. Let's look at protection. If it's raining, you might want to get an umbrella to protect yourself from the rain. Would you die if you got rained on? No, you'd feel wet and maybe a little uncomfortable. So it depends what you're talking about when you mean protection. Protection as far as spirits are concerned, well, not really. We don't see that as being a necessity. Because if you just allow yourself to open up and to say to yourself, I want to channel for my highest good and the highest of everybody around me and whoever wants to come through me, whether it's through any medium whatsoever. And many of you channel already and don't even know you're doing it. You're channeling by the way you speak to people, you channel kindness, you channel gentleness, you channel writing, music, you channel dance, you channel nature. You'll be amazed at the things that you're already doing. Already. And this is about not protecting, no. Now, let's perhaps address it differently. There are times when you're more open than others, yes? So, for example, when the sun is shining, some flowers just bloom out and they blossom big, don't they? And then when it comes dark time, they go to sleep, close their eyes and they close their petals and they look so sweet, don't they? They look so sweet there. And their eyes are closed. But they're not protected in the sense that you couldn't just walk on them. You could. You can still destroy them no matter what happens. So you can try and protect yourself to the netherines. Ah, there's a new one, the netherines. And you're never going to be able to protect yourself fully because there is nothing to protect yourself from in the form of life. Because all forms are temporary. But the essence of you is eternal and forever. So in that sense, you don't need to protect yourself. So we're not sure if we've explained this well enough. We're going to bring Barbara back so she can see your comments and we can see what's happening. So protection. Protection. How do you feel about protection? Are there good and bad Pleiadians? Let me ask them. You got a little scared with Barbara Marciniak. Okay, I'm going to ask them to come in. Well, it's not so much there are good and bad Pleiadians, it's there are good and bad channels, yes? Depends how the channeling is coming through and whether the channel is completely surrendered completely to whatever is coming through and allows it to come through. And then, you see, some people will resonate to a message and some people will not, you see? And it's all courses for horses. Oh, we get things the wrong way round sometimes, don't we? We just have to keep things with a certain lightness. Because otherwise, if you get too heavy about this and too intent, you won't take risks. Yes, a bit like somebody warning you, don't go there, ooh, that's a nasty neighbourhood, the people are not nice there, ooh, you're going to get attacked. You see, and then you'll be frightened, you go in the neighbourhood frightened, and then somebody will attack you if you go in with that energy. But and of course there are places where it is important to be conscious and be aware, but not necessarily you're going to be attacked if you go in a rough neighbourhood. It's all to do with your vibratory field. Yeah, all right, we're bringing it back. Well, we're getting asked all kinds of questions here, and yes, there are many perspectives on life. Yes, there are many different astrologers, for example, many, yes, and many are doing a wonderful job, and they're all doing the best they can given what they've got. Everybody's doing the best they can, you see, and you just have to realize that some are more awakened than others. It's quite as simple as that. And you will resonate with the ones that are most awakened for those of you who are ready for the awakening. And for those of you who are not so ready, well, then you won't resonate with our message. You'll say, oh, pile of nonsense. What a load of nonsense. What's Barbara doing there? Oh, she's gone a little nuts. Yeah. But she's not really. She's just allowing herself to open up to something more. And there are many times when her normal brain says, isn't this a little odd? Because of course it's a little odd. But everything is a little odd before people accept something. Yes? 100 years ago, you'd have been saying to people, you're online, live with all these people, they'd have said you're bloody nuts, wouldn't they? Same thing here with the channeling. Soon enough, many will be able to channel normally, naturally, easily. It won't be a big deal. Barbara doesn't see it as such a big deal anymore. She really doesn't. It's just something that is a part of her life now. She realizes she doesn't have to live in fear, she doesn't have to live in panic, and that people generally have got good hearts. They really have. They really have. Yeah. All right, we're coming, we're bringing it back, all right. Yes, that's it. Somebody's here saying they walked through the worst neighbourhoods and nothing happened. There you are. It's all to do with your vibration, your vibratory frequency. So, I do find that the Pleiadians have been moving my physical body. In the last 2.5 years, I have not been able to sit down for any long periods. Now, it's a bugger, I have to say, if I'm on a flight somewhere, and let's say to England, it's 3.5 hours from Greece, I'm up and down like a bloody yo-yo. but that's just because it's uncomfortable. And what I feel is that they've been opening up my physical body. The physical body is more flexible than it has been than when I was a child. Is the process painful? Yes. There are many times when it's been very painful, and I'm going on with it because it's like anything. You go through various pains and then something blossoms as a result of it. I mean, I can imagine it must be painful being a bud of a rose, and then gradually it's like, oh, it starts to open. So that's really what I've been experiencing. So I would say that the more you can move your physical body, that's certainly been helpful for me. And I think channeling is more normal than we've been made to believe. I do agree with that. Oops. Everything's moving. I'm getting lots of questions coming through. I will take some of them. I just want to share some of the things that are happening now. Again, it's this whole thing of surrendering. The one thing that they are saying to me all the time, and have been doing for a few months, is we want you to be more aware. We want you to be aware of everything. That's something that seems to be of prime importance. And they repeat it many times a day. So, I'm being asked, do I listen to other channels? Do I read books about this topic? Yes, I do sometimes listen to other channels. I listen sometimes to Cryon. I actually think Eckhart Tolle is a channel. When I say that, of course, he's not channeling by going into a trance, but I think that when he talks some of his wisdom, I certainly think his books in some way were channeled. Not so much, I think the word channeling might have different meanings. I've read the Seth books, I listen to Abraham sometimes, yes. From time to time, I do. There are some great questions coming, thank you. How do you raise your vibration and at the same time surrender to being open and aware? I'm going to ask the P's on this one. No! Raise your vibration. You raise your vibration by being relaxed. When you're tense, you can't raise your vibration. Very difficult to do. When you're worrying about something, your vibration goes down. When you're angry, your vibration is not high. So the first place is really to get more gentle, to go into a gentler place with yourself. To say something nice to yourself. To notice something that you like. To allow yourself just to stop doing whatever you've been doing. Take your attention off whatever you've been doing and just stop. For 10 seconds, just stop. 10 seconds, just stop. And you'll find something just changes. Something changes. Something changes. And then you can ask, you can say, I'd like my vibration to go up a little. If Barbara asks that to us, here's what we do. We go, you see, we start to play with her. A bit like we play with a little child. Yes, start saying some nursery rhymes. Oh, you see. Anything that really takes you in it, and if you have to act it, you can even act being a little odd, a little strange, having some fun, playing. Yes. Play with some balls. Play with a ball, throw a ball in the air. Yes, little things, and you know a dog loves a ball, doesn't it? Yes, run after a ball. There are many little things that you can do just to change your vibratory field, yes. Yeah. Somebody is asking, a good question here, Can it be shown in an astrology chart whether you would make a good channeler? I'll answer it from Barbara's perspective, and then I'll answer from the P's, or let them say what they say. So, can you see a good channeler? I would say that you can see in a chart the potential for being able to channel. But when I would look for it in a chart, I would just look for somebody's innate talents. I think if somebody can get in touch with their innate talents, whether it's music or art or painting or computer software, writing games, gardening, cooking, whatever it is, that if you love that with a passion, you can begin to channel it. So, and what would we say in an astrological chart? Can you see it? Not really, no. Because everybody's got the ability to channel, one way or another. So there is no particular signature in a chart that would show a prospective or a professional channeler. No, it's something that really is available to all of you. That's why we encourage Barbara to share what's happening with her, so that you can see the unfolding of her, you can see how much happier she is, how much more peaceful she is as a person, and at the same time she's showing you the difficult times and showing you that it's not all oh ha 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 ha, that there are challenges involved, but that anybody really can do it if you want it and you're ready to surrender and let go and enjoy yourself, really, for just accept that there is a different way of living life. That's our 2 pennyworth anyway. Wow. So people still saying they're a little afraid of it. Do animals feel something as well? Yes, they do. So, I'm getting a drink of water while I compose myself a little more, because going in and out of trance is quite interesting, to say the least. Here's a good question. How do you find calm when you're in the midst of day-to-day worries? I can certainly relate to that one, because I spent my life going from worry to worry to worry to worry. Does it mean I have stopped worrying altogether? No. No, I'm very human and still have that. And it's greatly reduced. So how do you do it? The way that I do it now is that I become aware of when I'm rushing. When I start to feel an urgency, when I'm rushing around and I'm ticking something off the list and then I'm noticing, oh, there's something else to do and something else to do. If I can become aware of that rushing energy and I can just stop in my tracks, either lie on the floor flat, sometimes I do that, sometimes just close my eyes and breathe for a minute, sometimes just rub my hands together, sometimes just put my hands on my head for a moment like that, and just slow myself down a little bit. And repeatedly do it, because you're not going to be free of worries. So it's something you just have to keep repeating until you practice it. Okay, it's about practicing something. So you keep practicing it, you keep doing it. So for example, I've been worrying lately about, shall I buy a car, shall I not buy a car? Shall I get this one, shall I get that one? Oh, round and round. And it's such a problem of privilege, isn't it? What a, or I worry sometimes about physical things. This is hurting, that's going on. Oh, I've got a toothache. Oh, I've got this. And trying just to become aware of that my mind keeps pulling me into this feeling of downness, to try to notice it quickly earlier. You're right, first world problems. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah? But I won't say we are all, I think many of us are going through life with these little itty bitty worries that drive you. And then you can't get into this higher channeling. So the Pleiadians want to do, will they do a meditation? Yes, they'd love to do a meditation with you. Definitely. Okay. So we'll do a little meditation, because I think I'll do a little meditation now on how to become a little more aware, because they keep doing that with me. So let's see what they come with. Well, first of all, it's about not stopping anything. Yeah, you can't stop things. There's a sense to which humans always want to stop things. Stop this from happening. Stop that from happening. Try stopping things from happening. Relax your being. Meditations often focus on, relax your eyes, relax your head, relax this, relax that, the other. Those are very good in their own way, and we're not saying that they're not good to do. They are good to do, but we would just suggest that you just know that you are perfectly safe. Because you really are perfectly safe. The mind would have you believe otherwise. There's all these terrible things out there. Terrible, terrible things all over the place, yes? Your mind will say, oh goodness, I could have a terrible accident, I could end in hospital, I could have cancer, my parents could die, my child could die, somebody could fall, somebody could get hurt. All these things that are an endless stream of painful thinking that you carry around with you. And we've come to tell you, you're safe. Safe, 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 safe. There is nothing that will hurt you. It's only in the imagination. 99.9999% recurring is in your imagination. It's a very big thing to really take on board, we realise, because all of the minds, we can hear them twittering and chattering now like little birds. What about this? What about that? What about the other? Oh, what about this? Oh, yes. But she doesn't realise, you Pleiadians don't realise how difficult it is. Well, we do realise how difficult it is on planet Earth, and planet Earth is ready for a shift. That's why you're tuning in with us now. You're ready for a shift. You're ready to live life freely, unafraidedly. Oh, we make up words. And many of your minds are saying, oh, but you've got to be careful of this, you've got to be careful of that, haven't you? Well, yes and no. You've got to start living now. People haven't been living, they've been afraid of dying. It's time to live. And that's why we're here. We're here to wake you up in the most loving way that we can do it, but we're here to wake you up. This is a wake-up call for planet Earth. Wake up, wakey, wakey. And a lot of people don't like it when they're woken up by a loud alarm. They don't like it. They say, I don't like that. And we're saying to you, this is a wake-up time. And it's an exciting time. And it's a time to be fully alive. And when the body comes fully alive, there can be no disease, there can be no illness, there can be no sickness. And as more of you become fully alive, the fitter and the healthier this planet will become. It's gotten sick. Yes, very, very sick. And now you are beginning gradually to come free. And we love you much. We're bringing Barbara back because we want to interact. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Good. Good. Thank you. Somebody's saying they're awake. Great. So what do the P's have to say about the law of attraction? There's so many questions coming. Let me just check. There was one that came through many times. Yes. Yes, you are safe. You are safe. That's something they kept saying to me time and time again. And they still say it. So, the law of attraction. Okay, let's bring them in. Well, the law of attraction. Yes, let's have a look at this and see if we can explain it in a way that is easier to understand. Well, the law of attraction, it's not a law. That's the first thing we have to say. There is no law of attraction. You see, the law of attraction, as it is called, or the way it is explained by Abraham, for example, the wonderful Esther, she does a wonderful job, we have to say, and many are helped by the understanding that has gone so far. But the way we see things is that you are drawing to you only what it is that you are able to see. And many of you are not seeing the wonderful things around you, the miraculous things around you in everyday life. And if you could begin to tune into the miraculous around you, the table, your computer, your phone. Speak to the things. Interact with the things more. Have more of an interaction with everything around you, and you'll find that you can attract to you everything that you've ever wanted easily, so easily. And it's about becoming in the moment aware of everything, as we keep saying to Barbara time and again, be aware, be aware, be aware, be aware, because you don't see what's under your nose. You're always looking for the next thing far off. When will I have more money? When will I have my nice relationship, my romance, my career? And these things, great. We're not saying no. But we're saying you've got to start right where you are. So what you can attract to you really depends upon your level of consciousness and your level of awareness of what is miraculous around you. And as you can begin to do that, your life will transform. And you won't want half the things you wanted originally, because you'll find you're so full up and filled up with everything that is already around you. And we know your little minds are saying, oh, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. Many of you, yes, the mind, the mental energy. Not true, not true. And we're going to work with you a little more because it takes a little working, takes a little practice, because you've not practiced being aware of everything around you. You haven't practiced it. Not been safe to do so, or you haven't perceived it as safe. So there we are. We're bringing Barbara back now. Yeah. Yeah. Law of attraction and karma. Yeah. Well, they certainly do transmit when they are with somebody. Yes, I've been told that many times. So being with you here, many of you are saying this is helping to raise vibrations. And it's not Barbara that's doing it, right? Not Barbara. Yeah, it's she opens herself up to the more, which of course all of you can do. So what about karma? Weight loss help. Don't ask me about that. I've put on 17 pounds in the last couple of months. Well, don't ask me about that. I'm no good on that now. I've been thin all my life and all of a sudden I've put on weight. I look like a pear. Okay. Well, a lot of people ask about numbers. All right, we're going to address this because a lot of people ask Barbara in the astrology readings, what about, I keep seeing number 11, number 44, number 33. When you see lots of different numbers, or you see the same number time and again, you're being asked to realize something you haven't been noticing. So if it's number 3, you're being asked to include more people into your life. If it's number 1, you're being asked to move ahead on your own. If it's number 4, you're being asked to find a new structure for yourself. So it really depends on the numbers. Number 6 is to do with aliveness, is to do with coming alive more than you've been doing and noticing life in everything, you see. Number 9 is about strength, finding your strength. You've got a lot more strength than you realise you've got. Number 8 is about sensitivity, being more sensitive, being quiet, not shouting, but speaking peacefully, quietly. Number 7 is about spring and springing, having a spring to your steps, springing away, spring, ding-a-ling. We're having a little fun with you here, but people are asking about different numbers, and so yes, it's about awakening to, it's just a wake-up call. Yes, it's really awakening you to get to notice more things in your life. And to say to yourself, all right, I'm seeing 5s. What about 5s? 5s are 5. 5 is a 9, 9, 9, 5, 5, 9, 9. All right, so a 5 is strong. A 5 is a sense of community. 5 is about community, wanting to connect with more community in your life. Well, weight gain is certainly a subject. Sacred geometry, yes, that's a very big one. We're going to have to do that another time, but you'll see sacred geometry in some of the paintings, deeply in some of the paintings that come through. Somebody's asking about number 1 again, 11. 11 is about going stronger into your own way of doing things. Not listening to other people so much, but doing what you want to do and continuing to do what you want to do. Continuing regardless of what other people are saying or doing or criticizing or not. You continue, you move in your direction. You move. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So exciting, isn't it? 2 is about smoothing the energy. To smooth ruffled feathers, smooth yourself, soothing and smoothing. That's what the 2s are about. 2. Yes, there is so much to say. Yeah. Justice. People are asking about justice. There's a lot of questions coming through, and I'm just going to try and deal with them as they come and see which ones they're being drawn to. Can't believe how the time just goes. I'm out of space and time, because 43 minutes, and it feels as though nothing's, so it's, when you're channeling, you're out of space and time. You're on a different dimension. You're not worrying about tomorrow's dinner, or yesterday's argument, none of that. You're right in it. So, how about something really good happening for you today? Gosh. All right. Okay. Well, we're going to look at this. Let's look at this. People waiting for something good to happen. Waiting for lucky things to happen. They're already happening. You're just not noticing them. They're already happening around you. Because it is inside of you where your answers lie. It's not externally. We're always looking outside. We're always looking, oh, what about this? And what does this one say? And that one say? But But have you seen a little child when it's born? It's full of wisdom, isn't it? Look into those eyes, it's wise as an oldest soul. And that's how you come in, and that is who you are. You are wisdom itself. So when you go looking for luck, and you go looking for good things, as you would call them, you tend not to find them. Because you tend to think, I'm missing something good in my life. You're feeling as though there's a lack there. And so you're looking for something instead of seeing that there are already good things in your life and start to build on those good things. That's the thing to do. Yeah. Well, we are going to let Barbara go now because she is tiring a little. This is quite tiring for her at the moment until we do all the final adjustments with her physical body that we're working on quite a lot. And we want to say to all of you, we're very grateful that you are open to this. We're very grateful that you are gentle with Barbara, most of you. And we most of all want you to be gentle with yourselves, to learn to be gentle, to learn to be soft with yourself, to learn to kiss yourself. Many times of a day. You know how you would kiss a little baby or a dog or an animal? Why not kiss yourself? We know that's a little strange thing to do, but why not? Yes, we have Barbara doing it many times. You know, she'll just kiss her hand and say, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, dear one. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Because everything is inside of you. Everything. So, we are ready for more questions. We would love it. We're going to have Barbara communicate with you on the community board of her YouTube channel, and you can ask your questions, and then she'll take the most popular ones, the one that get repeated many times, and we will cover those in future live streams. And we thank you very, very much for listening, and we love you very, very, very much. We do. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for helping me to overcome my resistance to doing this today, to seeing that there's always another step, another stretch. And thank you for understanding that it is a learning curve, and I'm learning all the time with you. Thank you. Bye for now.